think you can, yeah, if he swings wide. If you swing wide, I think you can get through.
Matt, you want this pulled in or backed in?
Hey guys, Matt, IronTrap Garage. Today we're going to work on the 39 Coupe that we pulled out in New Jersey. A lot of you guys in the comments were calling it the Doc Brown Coupe, kind of like that name, not sure yet. But in the last video was huge. We got this thing, everything kind of mechanically working in the car and went through the wiring and actually took it for its first fill up. So this is one of the quickest ones that the car's like almost ready to drive. We definitely need to bleed the brakes and do some other little maintenance stuff going over, but the biggest thing we saw in our initial drive where the tires were essentially square. The tires he has on here were quite old when he put them on the car, and now from sitting they're very much worn out old tires. So what we want to work on today is getting this thing to sit just a little bit better, get some new tires on the car, and we're going to put it up on the lift and show you guys the underside of the car because we've never done this yet. I know that the custom dual exhaust is a little interesting on this thing. So we're going to get a look at the underside, get the tires on. We're going to put some drop shackles on in the front to just get it down just a little bit in the front, and hopefully have something that has a little bit of attitude but still kind of retains that elegant look of the car. So let's get started. Nah, go ahead. All right, we got this thing in the air. It's killing us. We're dying to know what kind of craziness is underneath of this car, considering the wiring. So we knew we had some dual exhaust, homemade dual exhaust. We could see this pipe is definitely either how the car was sitting, or he made dual exhaust and this side was okay, and then this one rotted off and he had a new one made. We're not sure, but for some reason that one looks way different than this side in rust and how it's made, and has like a cobbled together mount there with a piece of bolt welded to a clamp. So that's interesting. This exhaust here doesn't look that old relative to the rest of the car. Now underneath, ooh, that's
an asbestos tile.
That is an asbestos tile. That's a new one.
Yeah, never seen that before. The exhaust.
Oh, there's literally hose clamps. So I don't know if they have the holding power to clamp down.
Well, at least use two.
We got some radio hose clamps. We got some asbestos tile here that's, I guess, over it's over the fuel line.
Yep, holding the fuel line off the exhaust.
I would say the fuel line looks a bit pitted. It's probably original, so that might be something here in our first or second round of repairs or upgrades on the car. We may just run a new line because it's getting to the point where it looks rusty enough that it might, over time, start leaking on us with driving. Yeah, there's just all kinds of stuff for the exhaust that's like cobbled together here. You know, that, I don't know what that is, but
sheet metal screw holding it in.
Yeah, I got a sheet metal screw here that's holding the muffler in place. So the dual exhaust system is definitely custom. This one looks like it's been soldered together or sweated together, which I guess works. And got an exhaust leak here because there's no clamp on it.
Mm-hmm.
Not terrible. I could see we're leaking coolant or something.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I don't know if that's a hose or something.
Hopefully that's all it is, a heater core.
Oh yeah, this doesn't have a...
Oh, that's right.
The heat in this is just hot air. Yeah. So we'll have to check and see where or what is leaking coolant, because that is kind of an odd spot for that. I hope it's not coming out of an exhaust. But this side, the exhaust doesn't look too crazy. This side, I saw this when we went to look at the car. This is like an iron or pipe fitting, like you would use in your sewer, or you know,
Gas pipe.
gas pipe. Yeah.
Yep.
So there's one there, and there's one right there. So we got a 45 coming out of there with one, over to another one there. So the custom exhaust system.
Oh, right out of the
Oh yeah, there's a third one there. So we got a 90 there.
right out of the exhaust manifold. He's got them.
So he somehow, I guess, welded a flange. It's hard to see here. I'm gonna try to zoom. Right there. He welded the original flange onto an iron fitting so that he could use all these pipe fittings to tighten everything together. So I guess that works. I mean, it obviously worked.
It ain't falling off yet.
It ran okay. So yeah, so we kind of expected that. Steve noticed when he moved the car today, the brake pedal felt even softer than it did before, and I got in and kind of felt it, and so he noticed that it was wet here. Good chance this master cylinder, just from sitting so long, has started to leak. A lot of times the stuff's okay, and then after you start using it, the seals just break or whatever. So what we kind of expected that stuff. We keep master cylinders in stock, so depending on how we make out today, we might go through all that today. But like looking at the floor pans and stuff, this car is like...
Oh, wait. You missed maybe the best part of the...
Oh no, did I?
Look at the crossover pipe from this side.
Oh no. Yeah, he welded a bung or pipe fitting in there and then threaded that in for your block off. Well, that is one way to do it, for sure.
Definitely one way to do it.
That actually doesn't look like it's executed too poorly. I mean, some of this stuff isn't, I mean, it's kooky, but it's not, I mean, it worked.
Yeah, he did the wrong thing the right way.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely worked. That's great. So, but underneath the car here, I'll try and walk this way. Sorry if it's shaky. So underneath the car is pretty solid. It's kind of incredible how, like, here's the tool tray, and it's like, I mean, there's still remnants of paint on there, but it's all just surface rust. And the floors are like, I mean, the floors are like incredible on this car. I would almost say there is no rust. I mean, there's rust, but there's no like rot or anything. A lot of it's just really, just very light, flaky surface rust. My F-250 I drive around is much, much worse than this thing. And this thing is a lot older. So we're gonna work on the wheels and tires first, like we said, get them swapped out since we have them here. And then if we have the time, we might go through a couple of the other things. But wheels and tires at least will allow us, and the brake stuff will allow us to drive it around town a little more safely. All right, we got the car dropped back down and got the hubcaps off. I wanted to show you guys these trim rings. I mentioned them in another video. I had popped these on there. This is kind of the fun stuff with having a little part stash for myself. When we get these cars in, you can do interesting little things to make them a little more unique, if you will. So we found these in, I think it was Milwaukee. We were digging through an older gentleman's stuff at his house, and he had these trim rings, and he actually taken them to a swap meet, couldn't sell them. He had sprayed them with chrome spray paint, which was essentially just silver spray paint, and he was trying to sell them at a swap meet for a few years and never sold them. And he was telling me that they were like 36 Ford accessory trim rings. I've never seen them before, but we ended up making a deal, and I kind of bought them on a hunch. Got them home, cleaned off all the spray paint, and there actually is a little bit of chrome left on them, but they are a little rough, but perfect for a car like this. But I found out that these are actually 39 Mercury accessory trim rings. I was looking in one of my old books and catalogs, and I found it listed as an accessory for 39 Mercury. Obviously it will fit any wide 5 wheel, but they're kind of neat because they go all the way out to this edge here, and you actually have to kind of tap them in, and where the lip rolls in on itself, it kind of clips behind it, and then it goes all the way into the edge of the hubcap, and the hubcap sits over top of it, and it's got this rib there. It's super cool, never seen a set before, but they're a huge pain in the ass to put on. If the rim has any little ding right here on this outer lip, this won't sit all the way in, and then the hubcap can't go all the way in the clip, and the hubcaps will just like fall off. So I think I got them pretty good, but I still am a little hesitant. This one was a little wavy in the center here, from just, I guess, somebody trying to take it off over the years. So I had some problems with this one and tapped it in with a piece of wood and a hammer and a mallet. Seems okay, but super cool. When you have the cap on, it just kind of hides the whole rim and gives it a unique look. So I figured I'd just show that while we're have the wheel apart, because if you're out there hunting for stuff at swap meets and you see them, very rare. Doesn't mean they're expensive, but they're very rare and super cool. Tires actually, they had decent tread, they're just old.
Mm-hmm.
But the only boo-boo we found on this car that maybe happened in its life was this taillight is cracked or broken, which we found a replacement in all those numbered boxes and we found in the garage. And looks like something might have fell in the garage. You can see where it's scuffed here. I wouldn't doubt, with how everything was kind of precariously set, that maybe something fell over in the garage, banged the fender, and then broke this lens. So I'm going to replace the lens. He has another one, like I said, we found. And then I'm going to try and hammer this out carefully, just to get a little bit of that damage out. But probably, yep, that lens was all broken on the inside too. All right, so gonna try and knock this down out a little bit. I'm using, because this car has a lot of original paint on it, I'm gonna try a little bit to not scratch the paint up. So I have this rubber coated dolly I got from Eastwood years and years and years ago, that works quite well. So it softens the blow a little bit, and also because it's rubber, it's not gonna scratch the hell out of the paint. And then using a hammer with a quite rounded face to it, because we're up in this tight area. So try and tap it out. It has the paint's damaged a little bit, but at least we're not pushing this around and messing all this paint up as we're trying to tap on it. So we'll see if we knock this out and save it, and make it look at least a little bit better. Oops, so I'll move there. Definitely need a light. Yeah, that's much better. Now it's just a scratch in the paint. All right, so I figured I'd cover this because this is something that we get questions about like every day in email and social media DMs and stuff. Tire size, what do I want to run? So this car, we're kind of going for that like moonshiner look, if you will. So we're trying to keep it sort of stock looking, but maybe just a little bit, something's a little different on it. So we want to do a little bit of a rake to car just to give it a little attitude. So one way you can achieve that is with a rubber rake. On these fat fender cars, you have to be a little more careful because what you can get away with on a fenderless 30s hot rod sometimes can be a problem. If you use too small of a tire in the front, it can look funny because the wheel well's real big, too big in the back or the front, it might hit. So what I did with this stock size is 6/16 was the stock size. So I went with a 6/16 Blackwell Firestone that we're going to run in the front to keep it just like it was stock. We're just going to lower the front end down a little bit to get rid of the wheel gap. In the rear, I went up to a 7/16. On some of the fenderless cars, I like to run 750. I think it looks more aggressive. But with this car, I don't think we're going to be able to drop the back end down enough, or I don't want to have to lower the rear a ton. So it might look a little funny. Sometimes the 750s look a little big in the rear, I think, on the fat fenders cars. So you can see the difference just by going up, like, I guess it's 2 sizes. 650 would be the next size, and then 7. So we're getting a pretty good difference in height just by doing that. So that's going to give us that kind of rake it up in the back, and then we're going to bring it down in the front. So it's almost like stock. And for any of the purists that are yelling, a guy in 1940 probably would have done this anyways, just found some truck tires and thrown them on the back. It also gives you a higher top speed. So I think doing these little things gives it a better look, but we're being careful with this car not to go crazy with modifications. So if you're looking for that kind of look, this is a good 7/16 and 6/16. So we think, looking at this, the spring packs are pretty, like, there's not a lot of leaves in the front and the rear, but everything looks kind of factory. We're wondering if at some point somebody had springs made or de-arched and took some leaves out and just put short ones in, because you could see, I mean, we didn't do anything in the rear, like, since we bought the car, and it's sitting pretty good. I mean, for a car that I don't want to be ridiculously aggressive, that's pretty much perfect in the back with 7s. Yeah. The front is not bad. I would love if it went down just like a half an inch in the front maybe or something. And it would probably be about perfect. I don't hate it as is, but so I think what we're gonna do is maybe roll it off the lift here and just stand back a little bit and see what we like. I don't have any right now, but a little fact is you can use 41 Ford shackles were a little longer than all the other years for whatever stupid reason. So you can run 41 shackles and they're like, I don't know, half an inch longer or something, which gives you almost an inch of drop total. So I might just make a set of shackles and give us that little bit. The shackles that I have that I purchased aftermarket are like 1.5 inch drop, and I'm afraid that's going to be a bit much, but we're going to roll it back, take a look at it, use tape measure, see what we can get, and make a decision. But it already, definitely the back here is looking much better. It's a heavy sucker.
It is, yeah. Fender thing.
That's it looks good, but I think the front needs like half an inch, maybe an inch even.
I was just thinking an inch.
Because I think you're actually tucking in the rear more than the front.
Yep.
So I think that's, even though the car's sitting level, it looks funny because the front has less it's covering.
Yeah.
So I think you need to at very least get even with the tire.
Yep.
So
The back's perfect.
yeah, I agree.
Freaking awesome with them tires.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Once you got to turn like that, right here is probably
Probably the tightest spot, yeah.
and you still got 1 3/4
Mm-hmm.
almost 2 inches. So we have plenty to go to 1 inch.
Yep.
So if we wanted to, I'm afraid those shackles, what did I say they are, 1.5 inches?
1.5 inches, yeah.
I'm sure it would make it look bitchin', but I'm slightly worried they're gonna be too much.
Maybe dropping shackles like that in the front,
All right, Steve, let's see how low it is. I hope it's, I don't know if I've ever said this before, I hope it's not too low.
I know, right?
You know it'll come apart easy now because we did all the hard work.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
That's pretty low.
That's almost exactly to what I measured though, because I said the wheel line here was going to be just above that curb feeler.
I think it's all right. I mean, we need to roll it back and take a look at it.
I think it's all right, but it's can you turn? That's what we're not worried about.
I don't know. Does it look cool?
We could get a torch and radius defenders. Nobody would mind.
We can make that work.
I wouldn't care at all. We got. I'm gonna have a hit out on me from the early V8 foundation.
Yeah, right?
If I did that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, right? Take it towards.
Oh, that looks great. That's got the perfect rake to it. Oh, I love it. Man, if that thing turns, we're in golden. Oh, that's it. Perfect. Heck yeah. That's that iconic 37 to 40 coupe, nose down.
Oh, yeah. Yep, that's right.
Yeah, and that's right where I thought the foot was going to sit. It's
Yep.
like a half an inch above the curb feeler
Yeah.
line.
It's almost even front to back with that. Front's, you know, with
Oh,
the curb protector. Oh, yeah.
shit, we could have gone lower.
Not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This might be the first time ever I didn't go too low right from the beginning.
Yeah,
I'm
right?
starting to learn.
Mm-hmm.
No, those shackle plates were perfect. That was like, I was... Straight back. Straight back. Okay, come towards me a little bit. All right, keep coming. And then aim up this way. We're gonna put them nose to nose, so keep aiming this way. Don't get my new tires, buddy. Oh, you're already in the mud. It's too late. Keep coming back. Yeah, pull up like nose to nose. Straighten your wheel out. All right. Right there. Oh, that's the shot. All right, so quick little video on the 39 Coupe. We just did a quick new tire swap and just adjusted the ride height in the front a little bit. It's a good example of what you can do with some of these cars if you want to just do something mild and not a real involved project. We literally had the front end up on the lift. You could do it on jack stands, used a C-clamp and a jack, hold the axle up, squeeze it together, take the shackle plates off, and put longer shackles in and drop it back down. Being careful, you're able to do that, and we didn't really get super involved, and we got, you know, a much better look on the car just by doing those drop shackle plates. So this is much like a guy would have done back in the day, you know, minus having the lift. You can do simple little things by just changing tire sizes and small suspension modifications to get these cars to look a lot better, but still, like I said in the beginning, it retains the elegance or the beauty of the car. We're just improving upon what Ford did just a little bit with this one. So again, like I've been saying, this is winter time here, so we're just kind of doing projects as the weather is mild at certain days of the week. We pull stuff down like this, do a quick one-day project, put it back. That way, if we get snow or something like that, it's not stuck in the shop. So when we get to spring, I'm definitely going to start working on this car a little more. This fender in particular, I already just kind of wet sanded a little bit to take some of the gray paint off and smooth the paint out, and I could tell this thing is going to look like perfect. It's going to have a great age to it when it's done, and we'll buff it all up, but we're going to wait for better weather for that. Steve and I have decided we're going to do a full brake going through on this thing. We saw that the front rubber hoses were quite cracked. They obviously were replaced, but they were done a long time ago. The master cylinder is definitely leaking, so we're going to take that out, rebuild the master cylinder, probably hone and rebuild all the wheel cylinders, and just go through the whole brake system. We noticed that the fuel line from the tank all the way up to the firewall is probably original. It's pretty pitted. It's not leaking, or, you know, it's just looks not great. So I think we're going to go ahead and replace that while we have it up on the lift. So do a bunch of that safety and mechanical stuff before we really start driving it next summer. But it's nice for now that we can just start. It starts up so easily, and we can take it around the property to do these small projects. So super excited. Hopefully you guys like the new ride height, and the purists aren't too angry, but I think we improved upon it a little bit with the slightly bigger tires in the rear and nosing it down just a little bit. So let me know what you guys think of the new stance in the comments down below. Thanks guys, catch you later.